Welcome to the Arcane Strategies tutorial on AWS EC2 security groups. This instructional video will walk you through the steps of managing and assigning firewalls to both new and existing servers. We will also review other security options in Arcane's recommended security measures. First, visit aws.amazon.com and click to sign into the console. Once you log in, select EC2 to advance to the console's EC2 dashboard. Now that you're here, there are a few different options for us to take. So let's discuss security groups first. Security groups are basic AWS firewalls which allow you to handle a variety of inbound and outbound rules for standard or custom protocols. If you've used other firewalls like Cisco, Windows, or even IP tables before, this should be very familiar to you. Security groups are limited in their capabilities, so if you're looking for custom solutions such as DDoS or brute force attack throttling, we'll review some options at the end of this video. Let's start by creating new security groups. On the left navigation of the dashboard, click Security Groups within the Network and Security accordion. Now select Create Security Group. The next few fields are pretty straightforward. Give your security group a name and description, and then the virtual private cloud to assign your security group to. You may only have one VPC option, so you may have to stick with the default. Each field has an info icon that you can hover over for more details. Below, you have two tabs for inbound and outbound rules. If you are new to firewall management, you will be dealing almost exclusively with inbound rules. You may find that some of our tutorials show outbound rules for services such as Nagios. Whatever the case, your administrator or installation instructions will indicate when these are needed. Click Add Rule to add a row to your rules and you'll see 5 fields. Select your protocol type such as HTTP, which runs over port 80, and then select the source where you would like to accept inbound traffic over that port. In this case, we want the world to see our website, so we select Anywhere. Default protocols will autofill with uneditable fields. Let's say you want to set up SSH access to your server, but you'd like to obfuscate the port and allow access to a limited range of IPs. Simply select one of the custom options under Type. If you're not familiar with TCP, UDP, and ICMP, it will relate to the instance you've deployed. ICMP is typically not used for end-user applications like websites, and UDP is typically used for streaming media, so more often than not, you'll be using TCP. We'll select Custom TCP Rule, and in our port range, we'll enter the port that we've configured SSH to run on. In this case, we've made one up. To create a range, simply enter 2 numbers with a hyphen in between. Then, under Source, you can either select My IP to automatically detect your IP address, or enter a custom IP. In this case, we've created one. Once completed, click Create to complete setting up your security group. This will return you to the security group dashboard, where you'll be able to see your new security group and any others that you've created. Here we have created several for this demonstration. Editing is very simple. Just select the security group you want to edit, or use the search function to find it using the name or tags that you may have set up. At the bottom of the dashboard, simply select what you want to edit, whether the description, tags, or inbound and outbound rules, then click Edit. This will launch a similar pop-up to what we've previously seen. Alternatively, select the group you want to edit, then select Actions, and in the drop-down, either select to edit, delete, or duplicate your rules. Now that you have a security group, there are a couple ways to attach it to an instance. Security groups can be shared amongst several instances or a single instance. You may also edit security groups from the instance's dashboard, or create new ones and assign new servers to existing ones during the instance deployment process. First, visit the instance's dashboard. From here, you can view and visit the security groups of each instance by clicking the link for each corresponding instance in the security group column at the far right. Or by selecting an instance and clicking the security group link or opening the View Inbound Rules modal within the instance's description below. The links will return you to the security group's dashboard. What's nice about security groups is that you can have multiple security groups assigned to an instance. So if you wanted to keep one generic security group, things like HTTP, SMTP, MySQL, etc., you can do that in one group shared across instances, while keeping a separate group for custom protocols and services which are specific to your server, such as SSH port accessibility from custom IPs, Elasticsearch, Kibana, or Nagios services, or whatever the case may be. To change an instance's security groups, or assign a security group to an instance, select your instance, and under Actions, select Networking and click Change Security Groups. This will open a pop-up with your corresponding security groups. Simply select all checkboxes that apply and click Assign Security Groups, and you're done. Let's look at how to assign a security group or create a new one during instance deployment. Click Launch Instance from the Instances dashboard. This will bring up the instance's deployment process. Since this isn't a tutorial on instance deployment, we'll skip to step 6, as steps 1 through 5 are unrelated. By default, you may create a new security group, and the fields are basically the same as we've reviewed in the past. By simply selecting Review and Launch and completing the launch process, your new security group will be created and assigned. For better organization, though, we like to use security groups with multiple servers. For instance, let's say we want one security group which handles our default protocols, and one which handles SSH accessibility. In order to do that, simply select an existing security group. Now, in the checkboxes below, select all that apply, as we did earlier. Once you click Review and Launch, the assignment will be completed. As you'll notice, security groups only handle your basic firewall needs, but you may need more advanced protection. For throttling or rate limiting excessive activity, we like to use the additional firewall services at the server level, such as Windows Firewall or IP tables for Linux. There are many great instructions that you'll find on how to track and drop inbound requests from same source IPs, but it's important that you're careful in setting these up. dbadministration.org, serverfault.com, and stackexchange.com all have useful instructions, but we found that oftentimes this results in networking problems at AWS if not handled properly. We'd recommend that you speak with us before implementing these. AWS also provides services for DDoS mitigation and best practices with services like CloudFront to distribute traffic. We've provided some links for your review below. This completes our review of AWS EC2 security groups. If you have any questions or would like additional information about alternate security measures, please find us on Facebook or message us on our website at arcanestrategies.com.